Evening. Hi. Um, I hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. It's been a week because it was the State of the Union and always something going on. Hello to the chat, everybody. Um, Thank you for the well wishes about feeling better. Yes, physically I feel much better. The I have like a human barometer or something. Every time there's some sort of like weather coming in, my sinuses just kind of flare up and feel it. Uh, but today, we got this is of the union to talk about. Before we get there, let's go over some other stuff that's gone on. Just breaking news. It seems like we might be taking Cuba. Maybe. I don't know if y'all have heard that. Um, so apparently, Trump has said that he wants like a friendly takeover of Cuba. Eh, I don't know how you friendly take over any country, any sovereign nation. That's not friendly. Like, and I don't know how that's in a certain country's best interest for us to take Cuba. But Cuba, it's actually not doing well. Surprise, surprise, or communist. Although I'm sure communists will say that's not real communism. It's never been tried. As many attempts as there has been, and it's never worked out. Never. And so yeah, we might be taking Cuba. I am, of course, not down for anything that is going to be tax dollars, NAP, violating to any kind of sovereign nation. Although, yes, I do feel for the people of Cuba because living under communism, I'm sure as hell. Um, I would not want to live under communism, obviously. So I do feel for them, but I don't know how that's gonna go. I don't know how that's gonna play out because we got Maduro, and the way we got Maduro was, like, coming in and literally making his guards and soldiers bleed out of every orifice. Like, it sounds like a science fiction something, but we did it. I'm laughing, but it's kind of just a mortifying laugh. But honestly, if any country is going to have the scary stuff, I'm glad it's the country that I live in. 'Cause then I feel more protected. Although, not a fan of the military industrial complex, but yeah, I it makes me feel safer to know that we don't even have to fire a weapon and, they're, uh, incapacitated. So, uh, here we go. Cuba, Greenland, Panama, who else? I haven't heard much about Panama. I've Of course, I haven't heard much about Greenland lately either. I heard about Greenland was whenever Trump was in Europe saying that they've kind of worked out a deal, but you haven't heard anything since that. And uh, Europe is just scoffing at him for it, which I think everybody's scoffing at him for it. I don't think we're going to actually obtain Greenland. I don't know what this whole Cuba thing. Cuba is like much closer, so I don't know, but the people of Greenland aren't suffering like the people of Cuba because they're not communists. Like, eh, yeah, but it'll be uh, it'll be something to see. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base on that because it's there's this couple that I follow on YouTube. Uh, I can't remember their full name. Her name is Mary, and they're both Cuban, but the husband, is actually like directly from Cuba, like fresh from Cuba, and he's like the biggest like pro-America patriot and just like so thankful and understanding like this country's great and like I can actually work and make money and he's just adorable. Like he's like the sweetest guy. He's just gets so excited like a child at Christmas on things, and it really shows you that we take a lot of things for granted. He like went to a grocery store the first time. She filmed him going to a grocery store the first time, and it was it was touching. It was touching. It really makes you feel that you're really lucky and take for granted a lot of the things, like even just having a full grocery store. Uh, we only felt any kind of like shortages, of course, during COVID, whenever we couldn't find some food and stuff there. And everyone saw how desperate everybody was at that time, but it's not like that was permanent in any way, shape, or form. The grocery stores relatively quickly restocked their stuff. Oh, that tea is still way too hot. Oh, it just burnt my tongue. Anyway, hello. I knew I should have got instead, but I think I want to put a tattoo on my leg after the stream, so I don't want to get drunk and like try to tattoo myself. Anyway, the drink. Well, I heard burning my tongue on black tea with spearmint. I didn't add the spearmint, just the lid off because apparently this thing is too good at keeping heat in. Uh, so it's too good about some. Am I still reading? Oh, still no to do with this time. Much as I pay for StreamYard, and it has issues. Like very robotic. This is frustrating. I haven't had these issues until I upgraded my stuff. I have a better camera now, I have a better microphone now, and now I have issues. Yeah, StreamYard absolutely is trash now. I'm going to contact support. This would be my third stream where I'm having issues. Um, I, yeah, but it just seems like the issues that I'm having, other creators don't seem to have. And I upgraded my stuff, so I don't have those kind of issues. Better now? Okay. All right, good. Okay, because I wanted to get to the topic at hand because we're already like 10 minutes in and I haven't even started with the topic. So um State of the Union, right? All right. It's something that I know I'm such a nerd. I actually look forward to. Obviously, I'm into politics and government and all the other jazz. Like I hate government, but like I'm like obsessed with it. Like I'm a nerd. Okay, I'm not obsessed with it. I hate government, but I'm a nerd when it comes to government. Okay, because I minored in political science in college. My major was like U.S. history, so all that stuff. All right, so this is kind of like my thing. Uh, so I actually do kind of look forward to State of the Union because the State of the Union is whenever you actually see um, the president addressing Congress, and you get to see how Congress actually in real time reacts. And that's one thing that Trump actually pointed out. And some are saying, like I was watching Nooks today and yesterday. He was just going off about how Trump just dropped a nuke, saying, "If I want you to stand up if you agree with this statement. The role of government is to protect U.S. citizens, not illegal aliens." And of course, none of the Democrats stood up. And like right before that, he said, the great thing about this is that you can see what representatives really believe, and and so he checkmated them. Now, I think he knew they weren't going to stand for anything, although they did stand for some things. I think it was the insider trading, the insider trading thing. Excuse me. Uh, some actually stood up when he was saying about ending insider trading within Congress because they're just like covering themselves because like, oh, I'll look guilty if I sit down. And then he said, "Did Nancy stand up?" Because he said that some stand up. So um it was comical. Of course, I tried, I was like live tweeting it or posting. I can't like I'm not gonna dead name Twitter or I'm sorry, X. But I was kind of like live posting during it. And there were some things I liked. There were some things I didn't like. Overall, I rated it maybe like a C plus or B minus because he did go over some of the things that he's done that are good. Like they've I don't remember if we actually mentioned finding all the kids because ICE has found like over 100,000 missing kids, and that is absolutely amazing. And so, I get absolutely pissed off when people are just like abolish ICE, just because just because they're mad at Trump, which is stupid. Like, I'll get into that later anyway. But ICE has found over 100,000 kids, and there was like over 300,000 that were missing that came in from the southern border. And after everything that we found out with Epstein, the stuff that they were doing to kids, uh, I really feel like that's like a huge priority is to find these missing kids. And ICE has found over 100,000. And I think that is absolutely wonderful. And that is one thing that I'm really happy and proud about is that they got these kids. And say what you will about their tactics going to cities, basically having to do the job that their local government is supposed to do, but they're not doing. That's why they had to step up. And I don't like that the feds had to do that. But the local governments aren't doing shit, which is why ICE is the one that had to find those 100,000 kids. You would think that the local governments would be able to do their job and get the job done, but they don't. So, so ICE finds these kids and they do other stuff. They put up with a lot of shit from psychotic leftoids that like there's a video about this girl or her girl, I'll say girl, yeah, because she's actually completely immature. She was following ICE officers and and I'm sure all of y'all seen the video. It's so she's following ICE officers and he said, if you actually cared, you'd care about the child that was, you know, basically assaulted. Uh, she says, no, I don't care. Yes, we know. You're just trying to score some clout on TikTok. And I went to her original TikTok and the comments were just like, Yas queen and that other kind of stuff. It's like, do y'all just hear yourselves? Do you know what she just said? She just literally just said that she doesn't care about people that were murdered by the person that they were trying to get or the child that was assaulted. But of course, we know the left doesn't like kids since they like to abort them all the time. So yeah. So ICE has to put up with people like that. I like that they're pissing off the left. I don't like that they're having to go into these cities and do all this job that the local government should be doing. Although, I hear that like in Minnesota, the local government is actually doing their job, which is why ICE is kind of back down in Minnesota. But a lot of local governments are, especially in the blue areas. The blue areas are really wanting to like hide the illegals because, of course, in the blue area they want illegals to vote, which is why they take such great offense whenever Trump said that he was going to send ICE to the polling areas. Well, if only U.S. citizens are voting, then it shouldn't be a problem for ICE to be there, right? I don't know. It's like they're really showing their cards there that they're just cheating. Like I don't trust the left as far as I can throw them, and you know how big they are, and not in like a in a beefcake way, but not in a strong beefcake way, if you know what I mean. Um, so Trump goes, of course, over all of the deportations. He has guests. He has, I believe it's angel moms or angel families, the ones who had somebody in their family, uh, either killed by a illegal immigrant in some manner, either like car accident or murder. Had some of their families there. He had an absolute Chad of a helicopter pilot there who did the mission in Venezuela, and apparently he got like shot in the legs, and he was going to be getting the highest award, which is amazing. The men's U.S. hockey team gold medal winners won against Canada. Yay! Can we get some like applause in the chat? We got gold over Canada. Yay! uh, so he had them at the State of the Union. He also had uh, a Venezuelan political prisoner, which I think was awesome. I like that move because Venezuela is or was it still probably is. I don't know if the person who followed up Maduro is as bad as he is. Probably is, but probably just kind of like playing it off right now. So Canada is pissed. Yeah, I've heard. I've seen some videos of whenever they were watching the Olympics, and it was just like you could just kind of hear the Simon and Garfunkel in the background, just like "Hello, darkness, my old friend," and um, wonderful. Let's see if I burn my tongue again. Not burned, but still really hot. It's good tea. Anyway, so some highlights. I want to watch this video. There's some wildest moments, top five wildest moments from the State of the Union. Okay, and it's like I could talk about it all night because there's always going to be a handful. Like the left is an absolute circus, and it was, and of course Trump gives into their circusry and just flings poo. And there's a time when I'm just kind of like, dude, just stay on, have some like decorum. I miss decorum. Does anybody else miss decorum? There's no decorum. I remember whenever the biggest scandal would be like whenever I think it was I'm not sure if it was Senator Jordan or Jordan uh heckled Obama during the State of the Union. One heckler, and that was like the biggest news. Everybody was freaking out about it. But now you have people constantly heckling throughout the entire State of the Union, and it's not even making the news really. It's like maybe briefly making the news, but not like it's like a big scandal. And then you have Al Green, which isn't, I thought that was a singer. But anyway, you got Al Green holding up Black people rent apes, which it said aren't apes, but he didn't think about his hand placement. So he's holding it up and it says Black people rent apes because he's covering the A. So let's pull this video up and watch some top five wildest moments, and then we'll just kind of just go through them because it's comedy. It's absolute theater, and that's exactly what government is, and it's too damn big. So we have a lot of circus to watch, but I'd rather we kind of cut down this circus. But that's a pipe dream. Okay. Now this is a video from the New York Post. Oh, it's an ad.
Time to finally learn the sewing skills you've always wanted to learn. For just $1.50, you can get a full year of Craftsy Premium.
Y'all hear that? I don't know if you hear it or not. I can't hear it. Yeah, Al Green ejected again. Like this, he's only doing it for the clout. I swear, to me, honestly, I don't even think he looks Black. To me, he looks like he's like, I don't know, Middle Eastern, Latino. I don't know, but he doesn't look Black to me. But he's just this crotchety old man, Al Green. Ugh, he just irks me. He's annoying, but he gets thrown out again. I think he purposely does it, like, "Oh, it's so fascist, it's so totalitarian, it's I got thrown out of the State of the Union." Well, maybe because 'cause you're causing a fucking scene, dude. Yeah, get him out of here. Take his coat. You should be ashamed. Yeah, this was great. This was great. And
Isn't it
Omar
a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens, in many cases, drug lords, murderers.
She screams, "You have killed Americans." Okay, first off, Renee Good was trying to hit the ICE officer, and she did. He went to the hospital for internal bleeding. A leftist outlet actually reported that. She hit him. Sorry, you violate the nap, you get the clap. But as far as Alex Preddy, I don't think that it was just a shit show. It was a mistake because his gun fired, and of course, tense reaction, the ICE agents, reacted in kind. But it was kind of a situation where he was legally carrying, he was resisting, yes, but uh, his gun went off. Someone took it. His gun went off, and they just kind of rained bullets. That was extremely unfortunate. I think Alex Preddy was. However, Renee Good, she absolutely like her wife's Drive Baby Drive. She was trying to kill him, and she did hit him. Anyway, so Ilhan Omar is just trying to make a scene. What she needs to do is she needs to maybe take care of her business in the sense where that fake wine company that she supposedly owns, a Muslim owning a wine company, right? Does that make sense? Well, good, because she doesn't actually make any wine. There's no wine, but yet she's now worth like millions of dollars and it's supposed to be from this wine company that she has. Please. Anyway,
All over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Let's also ensure that members of Congress
oh, this is great.
cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
Look, some of the Democrats actually stood up.
They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here? Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
That's great.
We're honored to be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Zaretska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. Mrs. Zaretska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina.
I thought it was great that he had her there because a lot of the left likes to um, pretend that the whole arena thing didn't happen, or they either excuse it or they just try to like brush it under because obviously she's a white woman, but she's also like a refugee from Ukraine. So I thought they loved Ukraine. Well, I guess they don't if they get murdered by somebody who's not white. And it was a hate crime because he went down the train or bus or whatever, and he said like, "I got that white bitch," and that wasn't racially motivated. That's definitely racially motivated. Okay, let's continue. I think we're at the last one. The last one. What did they have as the number one? Well, she's sitting by Erica Kirk.
How do you not stand? How do you not stand? Here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
Now, I think Democrats actually stood up for them. I would say sports would kind of bring us together, but as nasty as people get over sports and sports rivalries, it's nothing in comparison to how nasty things get in politics. Right, look, yeah, they're actually standing. There's a few sitting down. See a couple of bitches sitting down, but by and large, I see Democrats actually standing for the hockey team. So at least they're pretending to love the country. All right. All right, that was nice. That was fun. Very nice. Oh yeah, and then he said, "That's the first time I've ever seen them get up." I'm shocked that they did too, but I'm glad that they did at least. It's the Olympic hockey team. It's the thing that is supposed to actually unite us is the Olympics. So yeah, they actually got up for the Olympians, which is wonderful. Okay, good. Happy for them. I'm happy for that they did. Um, Otherwise, they're just still poor sports. And I don't recall Republicans acting like petulant children. Oh, but they had to do their own State of the Union, the People's State of the Union. Can you get a more communist name than the People's State of the Union? We all know they're commies anyway. Like, stop calling us all communists. Well, stop acting like communists. Just like how they're calling everybody Nazi and fascist. Well, I'm gonna continue to call you commies because you're doing shit like communists. You're advocating for things that are communist in nature. You named your thing the People's State of the Union. What is China called? The communist country China. The People's Republic of China, I believe. Right? But they're really not a republic, they're communists. So at their State of the Union, the People's State of the Union, mind you, at the People's State of the Union, they had some hilarious characters, and I didn't watch it. Apparently, their viewership was just, like, horrendous. Like, they did not do well, and I heard that they were thinking about, like, "Hey, TPUSA did it, and they got, like, a lot of shows," and, trying to distract away from the State of the Union, the official one, but failed miserably, uh because no one gives a shit. No one wants to see these, like, a bunch of men dressed as frogs dancing around because that's what they did. They brought on stage some guys dressed as frogs, the ones that Alex Jones I was watching Nugs, and he said that ones that Alex Jones talks about. Uh, so or was it quartering? I don't know. One of them said it was like the Alex Jones frogs because they were gay frogs. So they had these people dressed as frogs on the stage for the People's State of the Union. Like, if you're gonna try to make a counter to something like this supposed to be ceremonial, like the State of the Union, at least kind of keep it on brand, because that's in no way, no way, shape, or form on brand. In fact, it just kind of makes your whole event look even more like a joke because it was an absolute joke. And they had some other guy. I don't recall what he was wearing or doing, but he was just it was embarrassing. It's like they had all these theater kids that hate Trump and just don't want to watch a State of the Union, rather put forks in their eyes. They had these petulant theater children try to run a State of the Union, and there's a wonderful comment from the great Warlockian Dragon on X, who stated that they needed their 2 minutes of hate because they watched a little bit of it, I think, and they would just boo every time that they would that Trump would be on screen or something. That is so Orwellian. Like, literally, it was very Orwellian. That was a perfect comparison because what they were doing was Orwellian. Like, do they not see themselves? Do they not? I know self-awareness is not really a strong point of the left in any way, shape, or form, but come on. That's getting embarrassing. They literally are doing their 2 minutes of hate. And because here's the thing. When I said this on X, you ask a leftist about Trump, you bring up Trump, and it's just like so much like abnormal amount and levels of hate and disdain, and their blood pressure goes up, everything. Like they just like they're like freaking like veins in their heads pop out. You ask a leftist about Trump or even just bring him up, they freak out. You ask a libertarian about Trump, you're going to get legit responses as to why don't really care for him that much. Like, like he spends too much money. He likes to sign these bills that are too expensive and he promotes them. He is mean to Thomas Massey, but Massey's a big boy. He can handle it. He's very good at handling it. Uh, very good at handling it. But still, we're protective of Thomas Massey. In this house, we respect Thomas Massey. On the Alternative Sovereign, we love Thomas Massey. I actually saw a video today. It was AI generated, but it was still awesome. It said, if you don't like Thomas Massey, fuck you. I hold that sentiment. Anyway, yeah, so I'm sure many more libertarians watch the State of the Union if they wanted to, compared to leftists that, but you can sit there as a libertarian and watch the State of the Union and critique it in a completely logical way. One thing that I called out even on X as I was watching it that it was kind of annoying because one minute he was saying that he's going to give people like private sector retirees, like federal retirement benefits, just like the federal workers would get. And then it was like not too long later, I was like within 5 minutes, I believe, he said, we're going to balance the budget. Please. Really? Dude, the massive spending bills that he's signing and promoting and getting mad at Massey for not wanting to vote yes on? How the fuck are you going to balance a budget when you're spending that much money? And you won't uh he's telling Congress to codify things like at the state. Of course, he can't make them, but I believe it was the prescription drug thing. He's trying to tell them to codify that, but he won't have the try to tell them, hey, you should codify the Doge cuts. What happened to that? Doge was like one thing that I was sold on. Of course, the whole fell for it again thing, but um, I did not like the Libertarian candidate. And we're not going to go open that can of worms. But anyway, but Doge was a big seller for a lot of libertarians because we're like, okay, let's cut out all this crap that we're spending money on because we need to be spending money on all of it. So there was Doge, of course, no new wars. And what are they talking about? Talking about going to war with Iran. We have no business in Iran. Now, I understand that the people of Iran are severely oppressed and they've killed upwards of 30,000 protesters. Uh, Unfortunately, revolutions are dirty and bloody, and they're not easy. They're very painful to go through. I do wish them the best, but it's a regime change war that they're wanting, but it's for somebody else. And that's not a war that we need to be involved in. We have no interest in that. So war with Iran is it's just going to be Iraq 2.0. Or Iraq was like Afghanistan 2.0. So this is like Afghanistan 3.0, but a lot more developed. So there's that. So okay, the spending, the no new wars, a peace president thing that he's promoting. Um, there's things that we're just like, you got Ross Albright free. Loved it. As well as the way he pardoned him. So that was great. I did like the pardoning of the J6ers because at least when the Republicans got mad, they didn't burn down a bunch of public businesses or not public, private businesses, and they actually took it to the government, which I was like, okay, all right, like if that's how the Republicans are going to roll, that's I'm down with that. I laughed the entire day on January 6th. I thought it was the most hilarious thing, especially when the memes started rolling in with was that the QAnon shaman? That was weird. So yeah, like I don't dislike everything that he's done, but it's just like lately, like he at first was touting, yeah, I'm gonna release the Epstein files, and then he did this whole debacle uh with these right wing influencers about uh releasing the files. And then it's just like I'm not sure if it's Bondi's fault or if it's Trump's fault, but then it's like, oh, it's a hoax and this and that. Making excuses to not release the files. Like, really? After you get it all hyped up? Now, I understand that some are saying, no, he didn't actually make that as a campaign promise. He mentioned that he would release them. Even if that's the scenario, even if that's, you know, what it is, you don't start to release something, make a big hype about it, make a big press thing with a bunch of influencers, basically making them all look like asses, which a few of them did not need any help. But anywho, and then try to say, oh no, it's a hoax. Oh, they don't exist. And then you have Cash Patel, like, oh, if I saw something like that, they would, I'd bring it forward myself. Well, obviously you didn't look because there's plenty that regular people are finding in the super redacted crap that we have available now. Like there's some horrendous things in there. There's just some also like random other stuff that's just harmless. Apparently somebody sent Jeffrey Epstein a video like of the Minions singing, which was absolutely silly. So, not every single thing in there. That's kind of funny to say the Minions are in the Epstein files. Anywho, so it's not like everything or everyone that's in the files is guilty or implicated in some way, shape, or form. Because Johnny Knoxville is mentioned in the files, but he's only in there because on because like some of the files are like screenshots of like news articles that are in there, and I think it was a movie or interview with Johnny Knoxville. It shows up on like the side of the screenshot for, like, another link to that story. So it's not like Johnny Knoxville's implicated, but Johnny Knoxville's technically is in the Epstein files. He's mentioned, but just the one time because he was in some sort of other article that was being, I guess, an ad for that article or something or whatever it was on the screenshot. So yeah, I get how some people were saying, "Oh, we don't want to release him because we don't want some people to think that everybody is guilty." Well, there's context. There's absolute context. There's context in the actual article thing you're reading. Like uh even Massey made a post like these are some of these are probably just people in a lineup that are just innocent guys, and they try to drag him for that when he actually said these are probably innocent guys in a lineup. Like, oh, you just doxed them. No, he didn't. He even said these are probably a lot guys in a lineup. But um yeah, so the Epstein thing is one thing that I really think that he screwed the pooch on. Hopefully, no pun intended on that. Um, what about the torture video guy? He should be prosecuted. He's a sultan. I think he actually stepped down from that title, but he was a sultan. I don't think he's going to be held accountable for anything uh, because he has status and he is in a foreign country where, yeah, that pic of Clinton in a dress, that was an ugly dress, the gold one. Ugh. Like, brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother? And she said, I believe she said at the hearing that she was at that she stormed out of yesterday because some photo of her got leaked to the press. Apparently, she said she doesn't recall encountering Epstein, I believe. And then today, I should pull this up. I should pull it. I got to pull this up because it was just, I I cannot believe that he said this. Okay, so how do I'm not used to doing X on my computer, so I'm kind of like, oh, by the way, um, StreamYard told me that my stream may not be showing up on X. If it's not, let me go ahead and fix that. Video froze. Okay. Well, let me. We're 45 minutes in, and I'm sharing this on X that way. Okay, I see video froze. At least it don't look derpy. All right. While the video's frozen, I'm going to find that post from Bill Clinton. So let's see here. It looks like it did post. Okay. Do, 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 do. Oh, wait, I passed it. Okay. Is it still frozen? Is it still frozen? Yeah? No? What is going on with this? I hate StreamYard. OBS is free. You know what? I just might. I need to figure out how to use it though. It cleared up somewhat. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad I'm not like on it like a whole roll or whatever, like talking and it freezes up because that's kind of hard to make some shorts for that. Um before I've returned. Okay. Before I show you the Bill Clinton thing, I gotta show you this. This is absolutely hilarious. I just watched this so many times today. Uh This is a good one. If you follow me, you've probably already seen this one. This.
You threatening me? You do not want to face the wrath of my bunghole. Are you threatening me? You do not want to face the wrath of my bunghole. Are you threatening me? You do not want to face the wrath of my bunghole.
Over and over and over.
Are you threatening me? You do not want to face the
I
wrath
feel like
of
it
my
gets funnier the more you watch
bunghole.
it.
Are you threatening me? You do not want to face the wrath of
I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh man. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Let's find Bill Clinton's bullshit. All right. Where is it? It was. Oh wait, right here. Okay. We still seeing this now? Okay. I don't know if you can actually see it bigger. How I can do that? Maybe do this. If you're watching on your phone, you're definitely not gonna be able to read this. I'm just gonna kind of skim through it because it's just I think it's hilarious because we all know how Bill Clinton is. He's just has a reputation and he can't run from that reputation. That reputation goes back all the way to when he was a governor in Arkansas. So the actual tweet says, as someone who grew up in a home with domestic abuse, not only would I had like I should say it, do it in his voice. As someone who grew up in a home with domestic abuse, not only would I not have flown on his plane if I had any inkling of what he was doing, I would have turned him in myself and led the call for justice for his crimes, not sweetheart deals. Please, dude. Be so for real. So what he did was he posted he used his the office of the president, the former president, they have like their own letterhead still. Because once they become president, they'll always have some sort of like uh, official letterhead kind of thing. So President Clinton's opening statement to the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. And what he does is he says, I'm here today for two reasons. The first is that I love my country, and America was built upon the idea that no person is above the law, even presidents, especially presidents. Except Clinton's, right? Hmm? And so he goes into this thing about the second reason I'm here is that the girls and women whose lives Jeffrey Epstein destroyed deserve not only justice but healing. They've been waiting for too long for both. Though my brief acquaintance with Epstein ended years before his crimes came to light, and though I never witnessed during our limited interactions any indication of what was truly going on, I am here to offer what little I know so that it might prevent anything like this from ever happening again. Okay, Bill, 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 Bill. You're full of shit. It's like he doesn't know that there's like a ton of photos of him doing shit. Like, dude, like, does he really think we're that stupid? Or is he just kind of like doing it because he knows he's going to get away with it? I feel like it's the latter. He knows he's going to get away with it. And then on the second page, he, oh, yeah, second page is where it gets really good. He says, first, I had no idea of the crimes Epstein was committing. No matter how many photos you show me, I have two things at the end of the day that matter more than your interpretation of those 20-year-old photos. I know what I saw, and more importantly, what I didn't see. I know what I did, and more importantly, what I didn't do. I saw nothing and did nothing wrong. Bullshit. Yeah, 20-year-old photos. So now he's acknowledging that there's photos. All right. But these photos are pretty damning. Like, he's in a hot tub with a bunch of underage girls. Is there's one photo of that? It, what does he take us for? He's insulting our intelligence. But then again, he's a Clinton. He's probably going to get away with this. By the way, I must preface, I am not suicidal. I know I've said I have the sats. I'm not suicidal. Okay? At all. Clintons. But the thing that kind of humored me the most in his little, let's say tirade, it's almost like a little tirade, little temper tantrum letters, is that he was so mad, or apparently so mad. I think Hillary put this in there for him. Listen to this. But before we start, I have to get personal. You made Hillary come in. She had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Nothing. She has no memory of even meeting him. She neither traveled with him nor visited any of his properties. Whether you subpoenaed 10 people or 10,000, including her, was simply not right. Why are there photos of her in the files? She's in it. She's in it. We were just talking about that ugly ass gold dress. Then why is she in it? So a part of me is thinking that because Hillary put that in for him or something, because she's like the evil puppet master one. He just kind of goes along and gets to just stick it in wherever he wants because I don't think she really cares. Because look at Chelsea. That's not his daughter. There's no way. Like, there's no way Chelsea is his daughter. Like Webb Hubble, she looks just like Webb Hubble, this guy that Hillary worked with, but she does not look like Bill in any way at all. So I don't know. I had this like theory about the Clintons that it's kind of like a marriage of convenience, that he gets to do what he wants to do, which is just be a promiscuous dude. Beyond promiscuous, apparently, according to some accounts of his really, really bad behavior. Um, and she just kind of is along for the ride, kind of riding his coattails, which she kind of did all the way to the Senate and then to Secretary of State, and did a shitty, horrendous job. Yeah. He fires blanks. There's actually a young man, I don't know if he's not really young anymore, a man in Arkansas who is half Black, who looks just like Bill Clinton. His mother was a prostitute, and Bill was one of her customers, often customers, apparently. These are all allegations, okay? But the picture of the guy, he looks just like a Black Bill Clinton. I'm not even kidding you. So allegedly, he has a son in Arkansas that is half Black that he refuses to acknowledge. So, um, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so we're at the last 4 minutes. We just kind of went through this so much. I feel like there's still more to talk about when it comes to like dissecting more of the State of the Union and the Epstein crap. I know we got on tangents, but you know what? That's what we do here. We are all about tangents here on the Alternative Sovereign. All right. Now, I y'all know it's coming up. I should have had it already up. All right. I want to give out a shout out to the show sponsor, which is say button push. TheAlternativeSovereign.com, the internet's largest alt culture geared Liberty apparel store. Yes, you got my mug there on a calendar. But you also have cyberbully the government. I wore that to the polls yesterday. And I know like I don't really pull this one up to show what it says, but this was actually kind of requested once I posted this. It says, "This state is not your friend. Your elected representatives sell you out to the highest bidding lobbyist with every piece of legislation they passed. Choose liberty." With my cleavage right there. So yeah, that's a quote for the ages. It's getting a little warmer, so yeah, tank tops could be in your future. There's also wall art if you want my face on your wall or something. I don't know why you would, but if you do. But we have the great I Stand with Massey shirt. This is a bestseller for all the based individuals who also love Massey. I Stand with Massey. And then we also have the best-selling Make America Goth Again hats. And I also have them in metal, punk, and emo. Trucker hats, beanies, snapbacks, got it all. And it is getting warmer, as I said. I got swimsuits too. I got men's swimwear, women's swimwear. The men's trunks actually sell rather good. I actually myself designed the Gothic Damask. I'm trying to pull it up. Yeah, I designed that myself. And what's I'm proud about it is you know how like a damask, you have like the damask flower looking thing? These are guns with one knife in the middle. So it's a damask made of guns and like firearms. There's like some rifles, some handguns. Uh, so it kind of, unless somebody looks closely, they're going to think it's just some sort of like Gothic damask because you see the skulls are obviously skulls, but it's guns. So yeah, Gothic 2A, Second Amendment, swim trunks. Yeah. Anyway, so check it out. Even just browse. I am very flattered and I welcome even just browsing and carousing around. But yeah, and I do want to thank everybody for hanging out with me tonight. I know been kind of in the mood lately. I know I didn't stream last week with sinus issues and everything. But it's always fun. It's always a fun time to hang out with everybody, talk shit on the government, talk shit on current events. It's great. So if you like that kind of stuff, like, share, subscribe. I am making more actual videos uh, and more content. Like this is something like a New Year's resolution I'm trying to do to actually make more content, even if it's just shorts from my streams. But I will be making more videos. So if you want to see the latest video I made, check out YouTube, my YouTube, my Rumble. They're both on there. It is the a Bees of Goth Drama, responding to some person that just I don't know. I live rent free in her head, and it's very spacious in there. But anyway, yeah. I do hope you have a great rest of the night. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And um, have a great rest of your weekend. Always lead with kindness, unless they don't deserve it.